Europe traumatized me. I literally declined other roommate situations with men because I'm just like, I don't want to live with a man. And here I am living with a man. Hi, guys. Yes, I know. I know. Oh my gosh. There's like noise going on in my head, like you guys are clapping. So just like bear with me. I know it's been such a long time. I know. Hi guys, it's your girl Atavia, and I am so beyond happy to finally be back. I told myself that if TikTok doesn't actually get banned, I'm going to get my ass up and film the content I've been saying I was going to film for months. I've been planning, returning, and making content for such a long time, and then I record it and I just don't post it. But I told myself, girl, if TikTok don't get banned, this is your sign to get your ass up and post. So that's what we're doing. I have gotten comments and messages asking me if I'm still in Europe. No, babes. Europe traumatized me. And this is from a girl who's lived in Europe for 7 fucking years. The Netherlands traumatized me. So I came back to the US a few months ago and I've just been chilling. When I tell y'all, this is the first time I think in my adult life that I've ever been okay with being in the US for a long time. Like usually I get antsy after a month or a few weeks. Girl, I've been sacked. Me and Trader Joe's are currently having a love affair. I've been enjoying being in a car. Like all this shit that I took for granted, living abroad, used to talk shit. You know, an experience like living in the Netherlands will really make you fucking appreciate what you got. Like seriously, I got on that plane, I landed here, and I'm just like kissing the fucking soil. I'll be honest, I left you guys kind of on a cliffhanger with my podcast series. It was like an informal thing. I just wanted to express myself. But today, I'm here to tell you part motherfucking 4. What was it even called? I don't remember what I called it. Girl, the Netherlands ain't shit. That's what I should call it.
Whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
Let me digress. Let me collect myself. Let me be poised. Let me be as poised as I look right now. It's really hard talking about trauma in the moment that you're living in the trauma, drama, and stress. So now that I've recouped myself in the US, I've gotten some good food. Because that shit in the Netherlands should not be called food. I ain't never had such a nasty fucking tomato in my life. Nasty fucking potato. Bitch, my diet in the Netherlands was fucking cheese pizza, bugles, and those fucking things from Albert Heijn. Those like baked goods. That was my diet because the produce was so fucking nasty. Clearly, I got a lot to say. Okay, let's get into the story. Let me stop my change. I'm happy you guys are here if you're watching. Hey, bookies. It's so good to be back. And alive. Are we gonna talk about that story?
No.
Let me start the story. If you guys watched my last video talking about my life in the Netherlands, you know, Spidergate. Yeah, this story happens right after that. So did I get a fucking break? No! I did not. Not fucking once in that country did I get a break. So when I was trying to leave that very fucking expensive, grody ass apartment, I was trying to find a new place. And I was like, I didn't trust landlords at the time. Also, I had no money. My money was shouts, real minuscule. So I had to start looking at roommate situations. And that's what I did. Mind you, I like living alone. Living with people stresses me the fuck out because it's always some bullshit. So in order to leave Spidergate apartment, I was trying to find like a roommate situation. I was sending fucking hundreds of messages. When I tell y'all, people in the Netherlands were paying me dust when it came to roommating. I sent so many, hundreds. I'm not being hyperbolic. Hundreds of messages to people looking for roommates. I got maybe 2 responses in all of the months that I was looking for roommates. So finally, this girl, let's call her D. D stands for
dirty white racist ass, you big fat bitch.
Let's call her D. I found this room through a mutual. This was posted in like a group for Black women living in the country. And the girl that posted it, me and her had already connected. We were already mutuals. So I assumed that whatever she posted would be like, you know, vetted. I was like, hell yeah. I was stoked. Hell yeah. This is someone who looks like me, mind you, posting this about their friend. The girl was D, was the girl's friend. So I just assumed everything would be all cool and nice and right. So I reached out to her on Instagram because basically what the girl sent in the group was a screenshot of Dee's story saying, I'm looking for a roommate. Reach out if you're interested, yada, yada, yada. I messaged her on Instagram. Mind you, this was October 2023, and I had moved into Spidergate, I believe, July. So I was quite literally still fucking stressed. Oh, if I tell y'all the living conditions that I was living in Spidergate, I didn't even tell that part because I was fucking embarrassed. I was ashamed of my living conditions. This is not this video. If you guys want to know how I lived, I will make another fucking video about Spidergate. But anyway, I messaged the girl in October. We match. We're like, we're going to meet up at the cafe. It's like mid-October at this point. We meet up at the cafe that's quite literally underneath her apartment complex. And when I tell y'all, we hit it off so fucking well. I almost proposed to this girl. Like, we hit it off so well. We had so much in common. We were both creatives, or so I thought. I told her what I do for work. She was stoked. She did something similar. She was also in marketing. I told her I was in social media management, yada, yada, yada. We just hit it off so well. Like, we were in that cafe fucking talking for hours. After we were talking for hours, we had left the restaurant underneath her apartment. We went up to her apartment so I could see it. And we sat at her table and talked even fucking more. Like, it was that good of a match. So I had no doubts in my mind that this was going to be perfect. This was finally my time to like have happiness in this country. This is finally my moment. Because wow, I found someone that I vibe with so well. I was certain this girl was going to be my BFF. We were going to be locked in. That's how well we vibed. We ended up confirming that I was going to stay there that same day. I was like, fuck it. Send me the lease right now. I'm moving in as soon as possible. So I leave. Mind you, this is mid-October. We agree that since I have to give my Spidergate landlord a month notice in advance that I'm leaving, I'm going to move in December 1st. Keep that in mind. Great. I have a place to stay. I give my termination notice to the Spidergate landlord. There's some bullshit happening fucking there. They see me fucking struggling moving out, a solo woman, and both the fucking landlord and the real estate agent are men. They didn't help me. They just watched me struggle. I digress.
You are angry. It's okay. I want you to say, I'm angry. It's okay. I'll process my anger. I love myself. Woozah.
So, come December 1st, it's time to move in. I pull up with my rental car to her apartment, full of my shit. It was quite literally filled to the brim. And her mom and dad are there. They all helped me move my shit in. Like, it was all jolly. It was great. I ended up going to the store to buy like her parents some candy for helping me and like a gift and whatever. Like, it was that good. Everything was fine and dandy. Couldn't have asked for a better match, right? Or so I thought. It might get a little jumpy. Just stay with me. So the next day, day 2, that night, I hear what sounds like a fucking stampede. I don't know if you've ever lived with someone that's heavy-footed, but that shit is nerve-wracking. So that first night, mind you, real ghetto. I have a pallet on the floor because I don't have a bed, and I hear doom, doom, doom. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Oh my God, what is that?
All around the apartment. Doom, doom, doom. Hello?
Hello?
I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? I didn't connect what it was yet until like a few days later. But I later learned that she is the heaviest walker I've ever had to listen to. And mind you, this girl was a twig. She was about this thick. Okay, y'all, I need you guys to listen to this clip I found in my Google Drive. I recorded this because at this point, everyone in this country was testing me, so I just like started to record stuff to have proof. But y'all, listen to this. Those thumps that you hear are her footsteps. And I don't know what was up with this girl, like mentally, like I'm not even joking. She would be pacing in the apartment all the time, like back and forth, back and forth. And I had to hear this every day. Day 2 rolls around. She was like giving me the rundown of the apartment. She was showing me how things work, yada, yada, yada. And I believe that day she also mentioned something like, I believe that there's like a mold problem happening in the bathroom. So if you can just like open the door when you shower, just so the steam gets out and mold doesn't come in the bathroom. And I'm like, that's odd. I don't feel comfortable being fully naked in my most vulnerable state, leaving the door open. But I guess by the end of the day, by the time I actually took a shower, I forgot that she mentioned that. So I go to the shower. Of course, it's not fucking intuitive to leave a door open while you're fully fucking naked. I go shower. I close the door. I lock the door. I'm in the shower minding my fucking business. She comes banging on the fucking door. I hear this bitch run from the living room to the bathroom, banging on the door. You're like, what are you doing? Oh no, the door's closed. Oh my gosh, Atavia, open the door. I'm like, she's like, did you lock the door? I'm like, yes, girl, the door is locked. I'm naked. She's like, oh, it's fine. But remember, I told you about the mold. This girl was having a fucking stroke trying to tell me to open the fucking door. Mind you, I take 5-minute showers. So by the time she's like done having her fucking panic attack, I'm out the bitch. So I get out the bathroom after like getting dressed, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just remember I told you about the moldy yada yada." Okay, that was my first sign. That was my early sign. This was day 2. Later that day, because this was the morning. Later that day, I'm chilling on the fucking couch, minding my business, watching TV, happy that I'm finally like can breathe, can get some fresh fucking air. Finally, not like stressed the fuck out. She's gone for a few hours, and then she comes back arm in arm with a man.
Why would a man be there? Why would a man be there? No, it's actually pissing me off. Oh my god, it pisses me off. Why would a man be there? Why do you want to be there? Like,
so here's the layout of the apartment. When you open the front door, there's a hallway and the kitchen. It's like one big room. At the end of the hallway is the living room and the kitchen. And there's a door that closes off from the rest of the apartment. In the hallway, there are 4 rooms across from each other. So it's my room. Across from my room is the toilet room. And then it's her room. And across from her room is the shower, the sink, all that. 2 separate rooms for the bathroom. If you've never been to Europe, that's how a lot of places are. The toilet's separate. The layout is of this apartment. Remember that when I tell my later stories, because it's going to be very essential. So, as I said, later that night, I'm in the living room, part of the house that has the kitchen. I'm sitting on the couch. She walks down the hallway, arm in arm, opens the living room door, and she's standing arm in arm with a man. I'm just like, oh, hello. Who's this man? She's like, hi, oh, Tavia, I forgot to mention, what we gonna call him? M. I think his name started with an M. This is M. I don't think nothing of it, okay? So far, everything's fine. They leave me. They go in her room. He ends up staying the night. And I'm just like, okay, is that what we're doing? Whatever. And then a few days pass. And I'm noticing that this man keeps coming over. What's going on? What's really going on? But I don't say anything, okay? I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to like fill out the situation. Who is this man? Like, who is he really? She didn't introduce him as her boyfriend, mind you. Never introduced him as that. And also, what I want you to understand is between October and December, I never heard nothing, not a peep about this man. And that's the thing that's on my mind. I'm just like, wait, this girl never told me she was seeing somebody. She never told me she had a boyfriend. And there was a whole gap between mid-October and the beginning of December when I moved in. So why is this man here every day? Did she just meet him and she's bringing him home? That's crazy. I don't know what's going on. So as the timid girl I used to be, the person who didn't like confrontation that I used to be, bitch, the weeks were going by and this man was coming like 3-4 times a week. And I'm so incredibly uncomfortable because I'm like, he's here. She wants me to shower with the door open. I ain't gonna shower with the door open if this man is here. I feel like I can't really be comfortable because 1, I didn't expect a man to be here. Why would a man be here? So I don't feel fully comfortable like I can just walk around. What if I want to walk around in my drawers? I just want to walk around in my bonnet and like live my best life, but this man is always fucking here. So I keep that to myself for a while. But it's like boiling inside of me. It's like burning in my chest. And I don't think that I like this situation. I'll be honest with you. I was thinking that from like week 1. Like 3 weeks into my first month being there, I finally got up the courage and I messaged her. I'm like, fuck. I feel so unsettled by this man being here 3-4 times a fucking week, staying overnight. Mind you, her schedule, she used to be at the beginning, that bitch was on her shit. By the end of it, I saw that bitch disintegrate. Her whole life was changed because that man, I must say, and I witnessed it in the 6 months that I was there. Her work schedule was pretty much like she get up every morning and go out to the office like every day, and on the weekends she would like go party with her friends. Like she was barely fucking there. However, if he was there on a weekday, she would leave him in the apartment. And, I work from home some days. I told her this when I moved in. I'm like, I work from home 2 days a week. She'd be going to the office at 8, 9 in the morning, and she would leave that man in her room to stay in the apartment with me. I do not know this man. Sorry to that man. Who is this man? Ain't that crazy, y'all? She didn't feel like it was crazy. The man would be there for hours with me. Hours. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no life. This was a homosexual, and it was very apparent from the beginning. I couldn't take it any fucking more. So I believe I was at work, and I messaged her being like, okay, I don't feel comfortable with your boyfriend being there. So I get home later that night, and she brings it up, and we have a talk about it. And she's like, okay, so what's your problem? Basically, I tell her, like, you never told me about this man. I've been trying to be nice for a few weeks. I've been trying not to bring it up, but I feel very uncomfortable with him being here all the time. Like, he was always fucking there. I saw him more than I saw her. And that's a problem. The biggest detail of all that I didn't tell y'all, I never got the courage to tell her. But this man was the most rancid smelling person I've ever smelled in my life. You know that episode of SpongeBob where, their breath stinks because they ate something crazy? And when he's at the movie theater, he talks and there's like a bubble of fucking funk, of onions and shit in that fucking bubble. Now think about that bubble of funk and put it as if it's surrounding someone. This man had a fucking funk cloud. I don't know what the fuck his scent was, but he smelled like trash. He smelled like ass. He smelled like fucking garbage all the time. To the point where even if he wasn't physically in the apartment, I can tell when he was in the apartment because it stunk. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not being dramatic. I'm not exaggerating. It stunk that bad. And she was sleeping with that. Worst of all, when she brought it up, when I had got home that time, and that was like our first discussion about this man, she said, that's not even my boyfriend yet. I met him in March, and I'm just trying to see where things are going with us. Bitch, it was December. So they were just fucking for months. I also think I said this to her. I'm like, if this man is such a big part of your life, why didn't you tell me? If you've been seeing this man since March, he's been coming over since March, why have I never heard about this man until the second day I moved in and he was just forced upon me? Like, I decided to agree to this roommate situation because there were no men involved. Because you didn't say you had a boyfriend. I literally declined other roommate situations with men because I'm just like, I don't want to live with a man. And here I am living with a man. She just deflects and she's just like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I'm trying to see where things are going with us. And it's just at the point where there's nothing I can do about it. He's going to be here. Yeah, he's going to be here. That's pretty much how that first conversation ended. I also want to tell you that this bitch, not only was her feet loud, she was the loudest fucking person I have ever met. Just like living loud. Not necessarily speaking loud, like yelling all the time, but also yes. But everything she did was loud. It's like this girl had no self-awareness. She'd listen to the TV on blast. And mind you, my room was shared a wall with the living room where the TV was. So everything was fucking loud. Her feet were fucking loud. Every time she'd walk into the house after she got off work, she was on the phone, talking loud as fuck every single day. She'd walk through the hallway. Yeah, girl. I had to listen to that agonizing voice every day. She washed the dishes loud. She slammed every cabinet. For a while, when I first moved in, before she stopped cleaning, bitch. Every Saturday, she'd wake up at 7 in the morning and go immediately to and stomp immediately to the fucking dishwasher and start taking out the dishes. 7 in the morning on a Saturday, bitch. I can't make this shit up. It's just like, girl, you are not living alone no more. You have to adjust your life. You want to bring this stinky ass man over. You want to be loud as fuck. Like, I felt myself cowering into a shell because it was so obvious that she was like taking up all the fucking space that I felt like I couldn't fit in. Like, I felt like I couldn't even fucking maneuver because she was always fucking there. Even when I would like go sit in the living room to watch TV, she would come in with her boyfriend and they'd be loud as fuck in the kitchen area, just fucking chatting, making dinner. Can't even hear the fucking TV. When the months passed, it got to a point where I couldn't fucking obvious fucking Lee. I can only be so nice. Another detail that I left out, if that man was not there, somebody else was. There was always somebody else in the apartment. Always. This bitch could not be alone. When I tell you this bitch could not, she was never fucking alone. If it wasn't him there 3-4 days a week, sometimes 5, it was her mama, her daddy. It was her coworker, her friend. It was her dinner party. So I'm just like, I can't. And every time she would have people over, I would go in the room to like try to be considerate and like get out of her way because, you know, that's the person I am. But I was done. It was at a point where I'm just like, I can't fucking do this anymore. Like, I'm not living. I feel like I can't even go sit down and watch TV because she's always bringing somebody over to make fucking dinner or make fucking breakfast or make fucking lunch for them. And I can't do this. So I started taking up space. And it seems like when I started to take up space, that's when problems happened. As long as I was quiet and in the room and like cowering away, things were fine. As soon as I decided to start taking up the space that I deserve because I'm paying my fucking hard-earned money for this place, that's when problems really rose. So I come home one day and I'm just like, this is the day. I've been sitting on it for a while, but I'm like, this is the day. I'm gonna talk about it. Before I brought up the situation again, I think she brought up something. She was like, I feel like you're mad. I feel like you're uncomfortable. I feel like yada yada, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, I feel uncomfortable with him always being here. And when I feel uncomfortable, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be jolly. I'm not going to be making jokes. I'm not going to want to say hello all the fucking time because I'm uncomfortable. And she was like, again, she said, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I'm really just trying to see where this is going. And it seems like things are going good with us. And I'm just, I don't feel comfortable with him leaving. And when I first moved in, this girl was on her shit, as I told you. She would always get up, shower every day, go to work. When she's not at work, she'd be partying with her friends, be at her something. She was like on her shit. The more he came over, the less she was on her shit. She stopped going to work. She started staying at home and catering to him and working from home. Whenever he was there, because remember I told you he would be there multiple consecutive days, they never showered.
Disgusting!
They never showered. So they were just sitting up for days in their own funk. Yeah, it's really nasty. I am at my wit's end. There was a week that they had went to go on like a couple's retreat, even though they were just fuck buddies. They left for a week. I had the house to myself. It was wonderful, amazing, fantastic. When they come back, she comes back sick as fuck. This girl was sick for a whole fucking week, coughing up. They were together that whole time. He never left when they came back. So for a whole week, I had to deal with her coughing up her fucking life. Him being there for a whole week. He was there a whole week. A whole entire week. He never left. And I think they might have showered once. That's if I'm being generous. They might have showered once. And they were just like, when I tell you, this bitch was just like taking over the whole fucking apartment. It felt like I didn't live there. I don't know about y'all, but if I'm sick and I'm living with people, the last thing I want to do is be around them. The last thing I'm going to do is like be chilling in the fucking living room, be like cooking up every fucking thing. I'm gonna be in my room until I'm better because I don't want to get people sick. That's what consideration means to me. But she never did that. Instead, for 7 fucking days, I had to hear her coughing up her life in the room next to me because the walls were paper. The walls were a joke. They shouldn't have even been there, to be honest, because the apartment was that thin. I heard everything. And then she would sit in the living room. Her and him would sit in the living room all day. They'd be on the couch all day. I go out, come back. They were still there. I go out, come back. They were making dinner. I go out, come back. They're making breakfast. They were there all day. And she was sick. I don't want to be around this. The last thing I want to do is be locked in an apartment with a sick person and her smelly ass man. And I also need to say, she was so sick, I was worried for her. However, she never not cooked for that man. That man didn't lift a finger at all. This girl was literally coughing up her lungs, and she was still cooking for him breakfast, lunch, dinner. If he wanted water, she'd get up and go get water for him. That was this whole situation. Too, I forgot to mention, that man was Muslim. And if you know, you know. If you're not a Muslim girl, don't even let these men play you for real. Don't let them play you. I don't think I ever saw that man get her so much as a glass of water throughout all the times that I saw him. Anything he wanted, she'd get up to go get it. So one day I come home from work, and again, guess who's there? They're cuddled up on the couch. I'm at the doorway of the living room, and I say to her, Dee, can I speak to you please about something? And she just can you speak to me? What is this about? Okay, whatever. Real weird about it. And I gesture her to come in the hallway, mind you, so we can close the door and we can talk. She's like, okay, I'm gonna just stand right here. Whatever you have to say, you can say it in front of him. I'm like, okay, bitch. It's about him, but okay, bitch. I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna just say it. I say, so when are we going to talk about him always being here? That's what I said verbatim. She freaks the fuck out. She's like, okay, Otavia, you've pushed my boundaries. I'm so tired of this. Otavia, this is enough. Enough, Otavia. He's right there. You're talking shit about him. He's right there. I said, girl, all I said is when we go talk about it. Oh my gosh, Otavia, you're so rude. He's right there on the couch. This is enough. Enough, Otavia.
Bombastic side-eye. Criminal offensive side-eye.
Now that was the first time we argued for real. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I said, when the fuck we go talk? Then it became this whole fucking thing. I'm going out anyway, so I get dressed and I leave the fucking apartment. I storm out. Cause what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you? I ain't say shit. If I told you what I really wanted to fucking say, it would be a problem. When I come home, it's just like, okay, let's talk about this. I'm sorry I exploded. Let's talk. So we sit down and talk about it. And she's like, so what's your problem? I don't get it. I'm like, girl, I told you multiple times I'm uncomfortable with this man. That's why you see me walking around angry. That's why you see me walking around with an attitude. I don't want to be around him. I don't know him. And he's really living here at this point. This man don't go home. You swear to me up and down that he has a house to go to, but he's here half the week. She was just purposefully missing my point. We were going around in circles. She's like, Tavi, I just don't understand. Even my mom and dad let me have men over. Oh my gosh, you're making such a big deal. I've had other roommates. It was never a problem. And they do so much more. And I'm like, girl, it's a problem for me. It's a problem for me. And she just kept saying, I've lived with other people before. And it's just never been sounding like a child. You are a child. What do you mean your mommy and your daddy let you have boys over? You're a child. So after that conversation, I came to the conclusion that this girl's a child. She's an infant. Yeah, it's very obvious that if she doesn't have her way, everything else is so confusing and she just doesn't get it. Because we've had this conversation too many times, and every time it's been I just don't understand. So I try to be the adult in the situation. So I'm like, okay, obviously we're not working out. This is not a good match. We're going to end this. And that's where we ended that discussion that night. Everyone fucking knows this country is hard to get a place. Everyone that I know, all the Dutch people, all the foreigners, it takes them months to find a place. The housing situation is that crazy. Okay, I don't really expect to find anything quickly, but I do look. I never end up finding anything, but I do look. Literally, it was going downhill fast after that conversation. There was one day where I was working from home because I work from home 2 days a week. I was at the kitchen table. I work at the kitchen table. Mind you, this kitchen table is big as fuck. It's like a huge round table. It's not a problem because I told you she's always in the fucking office. Like she's never home, never working from home. Literally no issue prior. However, one day she decides to come home and have a fucking attitude and start shit with me. So I'm at the table and I have the TV on Spotify because I'm listening to music as I'm working. She stomps in, plops on the couch with her attitude, huffing and puffing. It was very obvious that she wanted to say something. Like it was very fucking apparent. But she didn't say it. So I'm working. And then she finally says something to me. She's like, give me the remote. Huh? She's like, can I have the remote? Why? I'm using the television. And she says something like, Atavia, I've been gone for 2 days and I've been at work all day, and when I come home I just want to watch TV. And what do you mean I can't use the TV that I brought? Like, you can't just hog the TV. Like, when you're in here you can't just take up all the space, Atavia. Like, you can't. So I go off on her because it's entirely too much. Like, I have been way too nice to this girl and she is just being a little bitch, a little bratty little bitch. And I tell her about herself. And we're full blown arguing. It's a whole argument. And then I ended up walking away to cool down because I'm heated, and I go to talk to one of my family members. And surely enough, when I come back in the living room, she's like on the couch with a smile on her face watching TV. So I pack up my shirt from the table and I go to bed. The next day, would you know, the remote disappears, bitch. And she was very obsessive about some things. So something like the remote, it was in the same spot every single day when I lived there. So I'm in the living room one day looking for it, and it's not there. And would you know it, that bitch took the remote and she locked it in her room. And the thing is, that hurt her more than it hurt me because she was the one who was always in the living room, always watching TV. And then suddenly when she locked it up, she never watched TV again. I'm like, girl, I used that TV like 3 fucking times. But yeah, she really did that. And she just kept doing stuff like that for the rest of the time that I was living there. There was also this argument that we had that made me completely remove myself mentally. And this is when I fully stopped talking to her, because it was obvious that she wasn't trying to make anything work, and all she ever wanted to say is that there was nothing she could do about things, yada yada yada. She never wanted to adjust her behavior. She never wanted to change anything. Nothing worked for her. It was just too much, and it was obvious that I was the only adult in the situation. So this is when I was like mentally removing myself, and I stopped talking to her. I don't know if y'all can tell by the sound of my voice, but it is 1 a.m. My back aches. My bra is too tight. I'm tired. I'm tired of editing. This video is very long. I don't feel like clipping no more clips together, so I think I'm going to just tell the rest of the story by voice over, because the rest of the clips is just me yapping, girl. Just yakking. So, that was like another huge argument we had. And then after that, I wasn't talking to her. I was like just trying to make the time pass, because at this point, mind you, the whole time I'm only on a 6-month lease. Like it was only a temporary lease to begin with, because it was like a test run to see if we wanted to live together long term. Obviously, that didn't work out. So it's only a 6-month lease. At this point, it's like month 4, and I haven't found a new place to go to. So I'm just like, I'm gonna ride it out, because what else can I do? Like, it's hard to find housing in this country. I have no other options. I don't have any more money to go get my own apartment. I just gotta thug it out at this point. So we're fine. I mean, for the most part, until she decides to start stuff, until she just decides to be a bored person and wants to start shit, because that's literally the only time we had problems. So, like, we pass by our days. Like, she's like, we're just passing by each other, to be honest. We're not speaking, because I'm not speaking with her. We're living our own lives. She sometimes is not there now because she feels uncomfortable with me because I'm not speaking with her. I'm fine with that. Works out fine in my best interest. Yada yada yada. There's another day. I don't know what it is about this fucking kitchen table, but every time I'm sitting at this kitchen table working, she wants to come in and start shit. It seems like. So here I am at the kitchen table, another day working, and she walks in the apartment and she's like, "I need the table." Literally demanding. Didn't say hi, hello, nothing. "I need the table." And I'm like, clearly I'm using the table, girl. She's like, "I need the table. My mom's coming over and I'm making dinner, so you need to move." Girl, I must have laughed in that bitch's face. So loud. So loud. And she just kept pushing. She's like, "I need the table. I need the table." Like a little whiny baby bitch. And I'm not holding my tongue anymore. So I pop off on her. I pop off on her and tell her about herself. I tell her about everything about herself. How she's a little bitch. She's an immature child. And all the problems we've had have been because of her. And she's immature. And it's just this humongous argument that's really over the top. And she started it knowing that her mom was about to come over. And then suddenly her mom rings the doorbell. And we stop. And we part ways. And I go speak to a family member to cool down again. As I said, I walk away because I'm boiling at this point. I'm trying to keep myself from throwing everything around this fucking kitchen. And all this shit. And she also, I forgot to mention that she said something like, "Well, if you're not going to talk to me, then you can't use my table. If you're not going to talk to me, then you can't use this." And she just kept going at it. She's like, "The lease that you signed didn't say that you have access to this kitchen table, so I'm going to take it. The lease that you signed didn't say that you have access to the living room, so I'm going to take the TV, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take that, and I'm going to..." Girl. Anyway, her mom comes. We start arguing for the moment. I'm trying to cool down. I decide I'm going to go back in the living room to try to get my stuff off the table because they're just in there, sitting there, being weird as fuck. Mind you, I'm in the bathroom like freaking the fuck out. I probably sound like a crazy woman. I'm going off. I come back in the living room to get my stuff off the table. And her mom is just there. And they're staring at me. And they're like, "Okay, so we're going to take this stuff." And I'm like, "You're going to take what?" "We're going to take this and this because this is not on your lease." And I'm like, "Try it, bitch. Take it. See what happens. See what legal action I take. Because I did not sign a lease that said I can't use a kitchen. That said I can't use a living room. Remember I told you that the kitchen and the living room is one piece? So they were trying to like, I don't know what the fuck. They were being dumb bitches. And they were trying to say like, "Oh, this part is separate from this part. And this is a separate room. And this is this." Girl, y'all hear my raspy voice. I'm tired. But girl, they were really trying it. And mind you, my family member is still on the phone. So they're hearing all this. They're hearing them trying to gang up on me, trying to play me like I'm crazy, trying to act like the things that I'm using are not in the lease suddenly, even though it's like month 5. Like, I think her mom offered. Suddenly, mind you, this whole time that I was there, every time I saw this woman did not speak English. Suddenly when we're getting into it, this girl speaks perfect English. I think she says something along the lines of, "Well, how much money do you want back to like leave her apartment?" Or "How much do I have to pay you to leave?" Something like that. And I'm just like, okay, I need to take a moment to go think about it. So I leave and I go outside to take a walk. I take a walk, I'm chatting with my family member, trying to figure out what I'm going to do, trying to figure out my next move, and yada, yada, yada. I come back into the lobby area of our apartment, and I hang up with my family member. I call my friend to tell her everything that's going on, because she knows about all this drama with this roommate, right? And mind you, before I had left the apartment to go take a walk, remember they said that, she said something like, "I'm going to take some stuff. I'm going to leave and I'm going to take some stuff." She said something like that. So when I'm downstairs in the lobby area, I'm talking to my friend, I'm telling her all the stuff that happened, I'm telling her all this, all that, and I'm hearing her mom and her dad and her like taking stuff or walking back and forth through the elevator. I'm hearing them in the lobby, but mind you, I'm like in the cut. They can't really see me because I'm like in the stairwell of the lobby. But I can hear them and I'm sure they can hear me. So they're walking back and forth. I'm hearing them walk back and forth, walking back and forth. And then I think at one point I said, she said she's taking some stuff out the apartment. When I tell you, this bitch stormed over and was like, I'm not taking anything. I didn't say I was taking anything. I'm like, girl, first of all, get out my face. Second of all, you said you were taking stuff. Well, I'm not taking anything, okay? I'm not gonna just again, for what, girl? Like, I'm literally over here on the phone laughing with my friend, and she's just being an angry, miserable bitch. Open my face. So then she walks away. Because I'm like, whatever, bitch. Bye. Okay, bye. Bye. And I go back to talking with my friend on the phone. And we're kikiing. I'm laughing. She storms back over and she's like, what are you laughing about? Are you happy that I'm leaving? Girl, my friend was like, hold up, bitch. Alright, let me talk to this hoe. Because she's hearing how she's talking to me crazy. Like, this girl's a crazy bitch. For what? And my friend's talking to her. Mind you, my friend is Dutch. So, I have my phone in my hand on speakerphone. And we're still in the lobby. And she's talking to D. And D is, like, trying to yell at her. Mind you, my friend is super, super calm. She's just, like, talking to her. D is, like, so up in arms. And she seems like she's going to pop a blood vessel at any moment. And this is going on for, like, another fucking hour or two. Girl, I'm like, okay. I have to call it quits. Because I'm like, y'all, it's literally 11 p.m. At this point, we've argued 3 times. I've argued with her. I argued with her and her mama and my brother on the phone. Now she's arguing with my friend. I'm like, yeah, this is over. This is too fucking much. I'm done. And that's really the last conversation we had for real. Because after that, she had stayed away for like a week or 2 weeks. And then maybe she came back for a day or two and then left again. And then my lease was up. So, but like in the midst of that, the days that she was there, she just kept taking shit out the apartment. She would like come home one day, she'd be there for a day, and then take something else. So she ended up like taking the couch pillows. She took mugs and plates out of the cabinets. She took the air fryer. She took the coffee machine. She took the vacuum cleaner. I think what really prompted that is because one day she had came home at, again, 2 a.m, being loud as fuck, and I'm trying to sleep. And I don't give a fuck about this bitch anymore. So I get up and I'm like yelling at her at 2 a.m. I'm like, please be fucking quiet. And she's like, oh my gosh, Octavia, okay, I'll be quiet. I'm like, no, bitch, you need to understand how fucking loud you are. So I start slamming, and she's just like, oh my gosh, Octavia, you're so crazy. I finally figured out what's wrong with you. You're just crazy. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you, Octavia? Like, she just kept going. And I'm like, bitch, you're what's wrong with me. Man, I'm sure I was like a crazy woman that night. Like, she was on the phone with somebody. I was yelling. She was yelling. I'm slamming cabinet door. It just got really petty towards the end, girl. It had also gotten to the point where I decided I was gonna storm around the apartment loud as fuck as she did and like make as much noise as she did. And it was very obvious that it affected her because she would like wake up so annoyed and like slam the door on me in the living room or try to close every door so her and her fuck buddy couldn't hear me being loud. But it's like, if me being loud now affects you, how come you never changed your behavior when I told you you were loud many times? It didn't matter when you were loud, but now suddenly I'm loud, and it's just, I'm so crazy. Mind you, I'm just doing exactly what you do. Yeah, it just got really petty. It got really, really petty, girl. I was looking through my Google Drive files that I have, and it just got so petty. It just got so petty, girl. Oh my god. Like the time that I was sitting at the table working from home, and she said you can't work from the table, yada yada. And then the next day, she pulls up with her whole fucking computer, bitch. Or like one time, again, I told you, everything happened when I was at that table. Maybe that table was really sentimental to her and I didn't know. But every time I was at the table, she started something. So another thing that happened was I was at the table, and this is when we weren't talking. Like, this is when there was the most animosity between us. And I'm working at the table, and she comes to sit right next to me. And I'm just like, girl, I will punch you right now. None of it made sense. Look, she leaves this huge photography screen that blocks the kitchen. I had to move it because she had it all the way out to here. She lived this up for a week. But if I leave a glass jar on the countertop moved, it's a problem. This is literally blocking the kitchen. It's only like this because I had to move it to walk past. Girl. And it's always the people who swear up and down they're so good that do the most shit. She was all, I'm such a good person. Girl. Okay, girl. Yeah. After that, police ended, thankfully. And she gave me my money back. Girl, the day I went to go get my stuff and move out, she looked so terrible. I don't know if that man dogged her out, but she looked like she was on big drugs. I never saw her look that bad. Like, she used to be, like, when I first moved in, I was, like, giving her accolades. I'm like, yes, bitch, you are dressed to the nines. You look good as fuck. You're a boss woman. By the end of that, she looked like she was strung out on something. Oh God, it was terrible. And if she looked like that because of the stress she was going through with me, even though she did every fucking thing, she deserved it. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. I'm so happy to be back on YouTube and be posting and like give you content and kiki with you guys again. I miss you guys so dearly. And I appreciate you guys being patient and like checking up on me. Like, y'all don't even know what that means. Like, I really be forgetting that there's other people on the side. When you record a video, it's just you. And then to like see comments of people checking up on you, see people asking how you're doing, where you're at, seeing people in person telling you they watch your videos and like they miss you like it really means something. So thank y'all so much for being patient and being the best spookies anyone can ever ask for. Don't forget to hit that like button to let me know you appreciate your girl sharing her trauma. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe because, girl, yeah, we doing it big this year. So until next time, y'all, love y'all. Bye.